Hey, what's up interwebs? I'm that toy guy, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Halo Mattel Alpha Crawler Build-A-Figure series, Spartan Air Assault. Spartan, that's Spartan in the same sentence twice. Here he is, and first we'll take a look at the box. And I am saying Build-A-Figure, even though this is Mattel, because it says Build-A-Figure right on the box. So, yeah. I love the look of this box. This box does look like those high-end figure art style boxes. And I really do like the look of this. It'll display the figure and the accessories and all that, and you got the name Halo at the top for ages 8 and up. On this side you have nothing. On this side you have a picture of the Spartan. There he is. On the back you have a picture of the crawler, all the figures in the series and what their pieces coincide. There's only one Elite, which kind of sucks, but oh well. Excuse me. And at the top here you have a picture of the toy and its accessories and the name and the removable armor fits all Spartan figures thing and 30 points of articulation, which is great for a Halo figure. So, box. That didn't sound very good. So here's the toy, and yes, it's technically naked, but that's because the armor is removable. So I took the armor off because that's technically accessories. Now as I gather it all up in my hands here. Speaking of accessories, let's look at those. It comes with quite a lot. So we've got a lot to get through in 20 minutes and 6 seconds is what my timer says on the camera. So first you get a gun, a thing, which is name I do not know because I do not have Halo 5 because I don't have an Xbox One. But it's a gun, it's big, it looks cool, it says UNSC on it, and it's got some green paint on it. Next, you have pistol. No paint whatsoever. That kind of sucks. Next. Wow, it fell off the table. Next, you have his chest plate. It says UNSC. You got some white paint on it there. It's more white on the back. The sculpted detail is quite nice, and it's made out of that soft material, so it won't break on you very easily. Next. This is a back calf piece. It looks like a thing. Next. This is a thigh plate. It's got some nice white paint, some nice sculpted detail, and some peg holes to store weapons. You get 2 of them. Next, you also get 2 thigh pieces. Next, you get a wrist gauntlet. This looks very nice. You've got the elbow pad there and some more sculpted detail, and you get 2 of them. Next, you get shoulder pads with the actual team logo on them. And they're the nice blue paint. The team logo is that white, and you have some nice sculpted detail. They're the default shoulder pads, I think. They look like it. I mean, they might be the Air Assault ones. I don't know if they changed it for Halo 5. I don't know. But anyway, you get 2 of them, which are already starting to stress. There you go. You can see that. They're starting to stress. So this is going to be the last time I remove the armor. Next, you get 2 shin guards, white paint, and some black gunmetal style paint, which is nice. They're sculpted well. They're cool. You get 2 of them. Next, last, you get 2 little booties for him. 2 little shoes. They have some white paint on the toe. They're hollow at the bottom. That's about it. Now, excuse me while I go collect the gun that fell on the floor. Boom. There it is. Now, let's dress him up. So, he does come with 2 of these pegs. One small and the other. One's stuck in the pistol right now. The other one, you want to put in his back first before you put the armor on. Oh, and one thing I didn't want to remove because it's so hard to is the butt plate. But he has a butt plate, so here's a look at his butt. Yeah. So let's get the chest armor on, which is the hardest part to get on. So what you want to do is you want to rip his head off. There you go. And take his arms, straighten them out. Take the chest armor, put it around, and when you do, you want to peg it into here. There's a little hole right at the top there. So you want to do this, otherwise you will not be able to hold the weapon on his back. And you will snap the peg. So you want to be very careful when doing this. So just finagle it in there. There you go. And just push. There it is. Then you want to take these and latch them together. Just like so. And something went pop. There you have the chest armor on. Now he can put his head back on. Yeah. There we go. Now, shoulder armor. There's a way to tell the difference. There'll be an R. It's hard to see in there because it's carved in, but there's an R on this one, so it goes on the right. And it just pegs in onto his shoulder. And where's the left? Then take the left one and peg that in on his shoulder. Somehow. There you go. Now to put the wrist armor on. Pop off the fists. Gauntlet. Someone is moving outside. Put the wrist back on. There you go. There you have an arm all completed. Next arm. Oi! Wrist, gauntlet, there it is. Put it on. Put the wrist back on and push it down. There you go. Now he looks weird. He looks like he skipped leg day. But speaking of legs, onto the legs. Take this, put it around the leg, swivel it and bring it up so that it pegs in to the thigh. Right there's a peg hole. Do the same thing with this one here. Clip it on, bring it around, and find the peg somewhere there. There we go. Now it looks really weird. Now what you want to do is you want to take the calf armor, put the calf armor on first. It's a lot easier to do than putting on the shin armor first. So put the calf armor on just like that. Then take the shin armor and make sure the paint is facing out when you peg it in. Just like so, and just like so. Then you take your shoes. They'll say R or L inside. Except for this one, which is 5. So I don't know what that means. This one is right, so this one's right, which I'm guessing 5 means left. I don't know. That was a little weird. But there you go. There is your Air Assault Spartan all armored up. And this looks really cool. This looks really nice. Let me just put the weapons on him. So that just pegs into the side there. And this gun will just go on his back. Just like so. That looks really, really cool. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of a comparison here. If I can find the figure I wanted to compare this to. Oh, here it is. Here he is with the really, really, really bad McFarlane Halo figures. Like, these things are, ugh. They get the same reaction ball joints do, which is ugh. Here's the McFarlane versions. This is the, I think it's the EB Games exclusive Spartan Lock. And yes, these figures do have more paint on them. That is one thing that goes well for them, is they have more paint. But in articulation and sculpt, these things win overall. Like, the sculpt does not hinder anything. It looks good, and the articulation is great with 30 points, whereas this dude is like 4. I'm kidding, that's an exaggeration. But yeah, let's just run through that really quickly. Articulation on this guy. Let's get the gun off, because they're gonna fall off. Head can look up only that far. It can look down only that much. It can do a full 360. It does have some neck pivot, which is nice. Shoulders can do a full 360. They can go out that far. He bends at the elbow. He has an elbow swivel that only goes out that much and in that much, which kind of sucks. Little bit of a forearm rotation. That's just due to the joint. The wrists can hinge in and out. They can spin. That's it. Diaphragm joint can do full 360. It can only crunch back that much and forward nunts. Legs. Now, I did cut the plastic off here so his legs could move forward a little bit, so they go forward that far. They go back that much. They go out that much. Upper thigh swivel. Single jointed knee that only bends that much. and the feet are on these weird Y joints. They can move down, they can move up, and they can ankle pivot, but you have to twist the joints. And the toes are on ball joints, but the toes don't really do much. They go down, but they don't go up, so there's really no point to that. Now, the Mattel versions, just remove the weapons, compare those later. He can look up that far. If his head joint was stiff, I kind of loosened it a little bit. My fault. He can look down that much. Full 360. Neck pivot. Shoulders can do a full 360. They can go out about that far, even more when the armor is off. He has a properly dedicated bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows that go 90 degrees just due to the armor. He does have forearm rotation if you want to use the armor for forearm rotation. The wrists can do a full 360 and they can hinge backwards and forwards, which is nice. Diaphragm joint that can do a full 360. It's just a little tight on mine, so I don't want to do that. You can crunch back a fair amount, and you can crunch forward a fair amount. Legs can go forward all the way. They can go back a tiny bit. They can go out all the way. He does have a dedicated thigh swivel, not the pseudo ball joint thing that this guy had. That knee kind of sticks. Double jointed knees. And the ankles can move down, they can move up, and he does have ankle pivot. So, these figures are superior by far. Now, just getting them out of the way here. Weapon-wise, these two weapons are different, so I can't really compare them. But the pistols, let's just zoom in here to show you them pistols. Now, the pistols are substantially different between each version. They're also very fuzzy. Because my camera is terrible. Come on, focus. There we go. This is all obviously a lot shinier and a lot more. It's painted better than this one, but this one's made for the mass-produced market, and this one was made for the adult collector. Even though this one's sort of the adult collector too, because Halo before Halo 5 was rated M. So yeah, this is obviously a lot bigger and less brittle than this thing. Now, just quickly looking at these again, these have more paint detail, but these are super brittle. Like this broke off right out of the box. I had to glue it back on. This is still holding together, and the peg holes on these are a lot tighter than these, so they don't fall off as easily. So, yeah, there's your weapon comparison. And overall, the height of each figure, once I get them on the screen, the height is a substantial difference between 5 and 6 inches. And here's a comparison with Skydive. I knocked the terrible figure over. There you go. So Skydive is the same height as Locke, and Air Assault, who I'm going to call Caboose, because I'm a Caboose fan and he's blue. Caboose is taller. So, how well is he? How good is he at holding his guns? Well, very actually. Let's put the pistol on his side. Let's get him into a pose. There he is in a pose, and it's a lot better than what this thing can do. This pose is just this figure is just really, really nice. I do quite like it a lot. Now, just for a scale with a random 6-inch figure that's just sitting here next to me right now, here's the thing. Stand thing. There we go. And that's just I don't know. But yeah, he's pretty cool. Now, I don't have the Build-A-Figure part with me, and I won't show that off until I get the rest of them, which obviously I don't have. But I will get the rest of them eventually, and I'll build the crawler, and I'll show that off later. But this is awesome, and I recommend any Halo fan or any 6-inch action figure fan to get this. So that has been my look at the Halo Mattel Spartan Assault. Is it Assault? Air Assault Spartan, aka Caboose with a different helmet. And I'm that toy guy, and stay tuned for my next video.